it's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and it's Walkabout Wednesday. Woo-hoo! We are in the very first week of May, and I want to wish all of you that care for things like plants, babies, kids, animals, a very, very wonderful Mother's Day this Sunday. We have our son and daughter-in-law and baby Lucy coming down from LA to celebrate the weekend with us, as well as our oldest daughter Liz, her husband Ryan, and then her two kids Griffin and Quinn. Alex is going to Texas to visit her friend Stormy, and Hannah is in Alaska on a cruise. So that's my story. Wow, I have spent a great deal of time out in the garden over the last few days. It's just such an incredible time, isn't it? If you want to take a look at these magnificent succulent gutters, I mean, I can't even. I'm, finding at this time of year, there's a bit of detritus to remove from the underside of the plants, which is loads of fun. That's, as the plant starts to grow and get a little chunky, the bottom leaves die off. So just remove those. It's not hurting anything. It just doesn't look very good, does it? But I mean, look at this. Look at this here. I love gutters because this, to be able to see this basically at eye level instead of on the ground, hidden underneath something else, is just absolute magic. The way these plants knit together. This is a little Echeveria setosa, and this is Crassula Platyphyla. And then this is one of Kelly Griffin's little special aloes that is just as red as it can be. I mean, man, oh man, this just makes my heart so happy. I feel like we could just stay out here together for the whole walkabout and just look at the gutters. But I know you want to see other things too. Also, spiders are out and about right now. And once they're done and they've moved on, it's fine to remove their webs. But if you see a spider that's actively working, let it do its job, because they are such friends of the garden and will take care of a lot of the predators like mealybugs and aphids and other things that can aggravate our succulents. Our string of pearls is still string of pearling for the most part. A little bit of dye back there. I don't have a lot of luck with this plant. It just gets really, really dried out in the summer, typically for me. So I was hoping that I could get this to grow and pick up down at the ground and set roots in the ground, and then, could gain water from the bottom as well as from the top. But that ain't happened yet. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, I've got the Sedum Morganianum that is giving me life, and it does not disappoint. Over here, look at the little Euphorbia starting to throw off its leaves. Yay! Last time we took a look at that plant, it was still naked, and it has set leaf. How exciting is that? Over here, the little cornucopia that I did a year ago, September. Look how tragic this is. But it is a testimony to these plants. You know that these were planted as cuttings directly into dry sphagnum moss in September of last year. So, September, 8 months ago. And I have had this over here in this kind of shady, protected place by the air conditioner ever since. I slop water on it from time to time when I'm in the neighborhood, but it mostly gets no care and no attention. And clearly, the arrangement has rooted into the sphagnum moss. Look at the roots on the bottom of the little cornucopia. So yes, succulent cuttings will root, will thrive, will grow in moss. You don't even need soil. Oh my goodness, what's going on over here? This little, I left a little tag on so I could try and learn the name. Rebudia Hellosa. Hello, Rebudia Hellosa. Is that not the coolest thing? Oh my gosh, I just adore this. I got this at Planter's Paradise. And it's so cool. Then this Euphorbia tubiglans hybrid, left the tag too so I could learn what that is. And yeah, I mean, all of my other little collectibles are looking really good. My Euphorbia Obesa. I need to put this in a different pot because I love this pot, but it's just a little wonky. And I really want my Obesa to grow straight. I don't want it to be wonky. This crest is so cool. But see all the reversion here where, you know, the plant has reverted? I need to get in here with a very, very sharp knife, like a scalpel, and remove this reverted growth so I can just encourage the crest to continue. Maybe we'll do that in a video one day. I'll try not to do it without you guys. And then this, just deadheading, pulling out, you know, all the spent little blooms. This is so fun. And the flowers are done too, so I can trim these back now too. You just want to go down as far as you can. Eventually the stems will dry up and fall off, but just for aesthetics, I'm going to cut down as close as I can. And there, that's better. Am I right? And my pig, my Kelly Griffin, look at that little aloe. This is just done so good. This has been in this pig planter for at least 3 years. Haven't done anything with it. And then I've got another cool Kelly aloe right here in this pot. It's so, so pretty. All right, moving on. I've got a grapefruit. This is an Ora Blanca grapefruit tree that's just about ready to harvest, so I'm really excited about that. And these Graptocedum ghosties, you know the story. I mean, I dropped 1 or 2 in here years ago, and they just love it so much that I've just let it ride. And I have cut so many pieces off of this over the years for arrangements, and it just keeps thriving. Look at this crest. Isn't that pretty? I should take that out, shouldn't I, and put it in a pot. It's really, really a nice crest. We'll see. Okay. Alex, moving on this way. The update on the Pacific Beach reno and maintenance. I had hoped to do that today, tomorrow, and Friday, but I couldn't get the crew together on such short notice. So that maintenance will happen mid-June when we get back from the ranch. So stay tuned. I will do my very best to capture as much as I possibly can on that. And we're all going to learn so much, I'm sure. Over here, what have I done since I talked to you last? Basically, nothing since I talked to you last. Remember, I did pull out my Victoria Regionae compacta, and I put the little Aloe Cameronii in here in her place. The Cameronii was here in front of this rock, but the grandkids really like to sit on this rock, so it's better that this is empty. And the Cameronii is already turning really, really red. So that's just really cool. Okay. Then I still haven't decided what to do with this mammillaria. I had a rotted one and I dug it out, and I'm just letting that dry and heal. And then Hannah's teacup planter, I put the crest in the middle of it, and I'm loving that more every day. One of you was concerned about me planting the Regionae compacta right here because this is, as you put it, a spot where things go to die. And not true. I actually moved a flagstone out to plant that there. Where things go to die is where this Echeveria is. This is where the gopher kept coming and eating my plants, and I kept sticking things in to see what would happen. And once I put that Echeveria Gibiflora hybrid in there, the gopher, I mean, it may have been coincidental too, but it's been fine. I haven't seen the gopher since. So I think we're okay. You know, this is an extremely tough and tolerant plant, and I really want it close so that I can see and enjoy it. It's so special. All right, and my giant Fred Ives crest that I cleaned up is giving me massive amounts of joy. And I had set this little balloon cactus right here. It was in a pot. This pot was over by the waterfall and hidden just temporarily, but I'm really loving it. I think it looks really cute. This shell arrangement, this is another one. This is the original arrangement that I did last year. And this has held up absolutely beautifully. I haven't had to do anything with this. I'm just really happy with this. Elephant in the room. Look at the roses, you guys. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of roses. These are my Eden climbers, my non-succulent pride and joy, and holy crud, they are so gorgeous. And I've been tempted to cut bouquets, but I haven't wanted to. I'm just so enjoying looking at them on the vine. I know that if I cut them, I will encourage more bloom and more growth, and eventually I will. But I'm still in the process of just being gobsmacked by them every single day. And you know, this is roses are good, I find, with succulents. I think they're really compatible. These are in wooden boxes that we put hardware cloth on the bottom of to elevate them, because I had an issue with voles early on, about 10 years ago when I started this garden, and they ate my Eden climbers. So these are 2.0. I had to go out and buy new ones. This is, I've got 3 bushes on this fence line, and my goal is for it to continue to go down all the way toward the trash can area. And look at the lemon. Look at that. She's looking good, right? We've got, you know, I mean, the leaves are still a little dull. She's not really producing any new leaves right now. But she did set over 50 lemons, which are hanging on. They aren't turning yellow or falling off or doing anything dumb. So I am super hopeful about the lemon tree. I did clean up my crested Aeonium sunburst a bit since I talked to you last. And I could stand here for hours and do this. And I did pull some things out from underneath. I am going to be reworking this arrangement. I'm going to be pulling out this agave attenuata variegata and placing it somewhere else, because it was really cute, but now it's too big for the arrangement, and we'll be reinventing this space. The garbage can area is looking great. Some of you commented that you didn't think gutters would be good down here. You might not be wrong, especially if I want to encourage the roses to come across. So we may just limit the gutters over here. I know it's very linear, but I just love them so much, and it's such a great way to garden with succulents and to house leftover plants in an attractive way. This little cactus, the crazy chicken blew over, and her beak just thrashed it. I mean, the beak just went right through the flesh. So I cut it. Look what I did. I don't know what I'm doing, but I cut off the big tall part that had the big giant hole in it, and we're gonna see. What I'm hoping is gonna happen is that we're just gonna get all kinds of cute little babies like this all around, to where you won't even see that wound. This is an experiment that I'm excited to have you follow with me on. So the front yard, I'm starting to get really bored with it, if I'm being completely honest. You know me, Mama loves her barrels, but I'm really tempted to go back to a more elaborate tapestry. you know, my plants in the back are growing, they're getting bigger, and I'm really happy to donate them to clients. I love rehoming my babies, but I'd also kind of like to keep them. So, you know, maybe I'll rehome my barrel cactus and then do some magnificent stuff out here. The Aleuautia procera, last time we walked about, was yellow and gross. I put some water on it, a significant amount of water, probably the equivalent of 10 gallons of water, and look at it. It is just as green as grass. Isn't it so stinking cool? Really, really happy with you. This area over here that I redid, I'm really happy with this. This looks very cool. Over here, not so much. This is driving me crazy. I hate these aeoniums right here. And the little Quichou Con that was sick and in a pot, and struggling, I put it in the ground. I don't know what I'm doing because it's ugly. It's just gross. Doesn't mean that I won't give it a chance, but it doesn't need to be right in the front, does it? I would like to take that out, take out these aeoniums, do something like I did over here, you know, that's got some height and interest. So this will be reinvented yet again very soon. I think I've got the entry pots pretty much finally figured out. Remember, we had the Tirocali sticks on fire in here for years, and I couldn't ever quite get them to go off at the same time. I switched it out and did Blue Elf, and really happy with this. This is as symmetrical as these have looked in like forever. So remember the video where we laced out and bonsai'd the Crassula argentea sunset, and it was really, really green, and I told you to be patient because it would turn yellow? Well, it's happening. It is starting to color up for me. So that's really exciting. I found this petrified rock out near the pond, and I just stuck it there, and I'm really happy with the way that looks. Look at the little pharaoh cactus. How cute is that? I know I've got some oxalis. I have some weeds. I need to get in there with my clippers, you know, and really dig down and lift this up and then get at those. But I'm not going to do that right now. The clamshell looks fantastic. Check out my spiralis. I got this at Planter Paradise. This is for my Mission Hills clients. It'll be going into their garden in a couple weeks, along with the totem or booby cactus. My Gymnocalacium saglionis is doing superb. Mammillaria, I got this at Planter Paradise a number of years ago in its beautiful Susanok pot. And this poor aloe, mystery aloe speciosa, I don't know. It's just languishing. It doesn't like being in a pot. It's not growing and it's never bloomed. So eventually this is going to come out and go in the ground. And I know what you're thinking. Why don't you put it in the courtyard in the front where you want height? Well, we don't need this much height. This is too much. So I don't want to do that. The chair's looking good. I have managed to keep this courtyard fairly clean. And I really have been enjoying it. So I hope you all enjoyed Walkabout Wednesday. I have absolutely no idea what we'll talk about tomorrow, but I have just identified a number of projects to work on. So, you know, we'll probably pick up where we left off. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity at 99,000 subscribers with your succulent tip of the day and Walkabout Wednesday. Bye, guys.